haven't always been secure with myself, and because I wasn't secure with myself, it was very hard for me to support other women. And now that I've grown to love myself, I have a new appreciation and love for other women. I don't have to bash a woman in order to uplift another woman. There's not just one standard of beauty. So I have brought to you a group of very different but very strong women who are going to talk about female beauty. It's become pretty normal for women to get eye shots, boob jobs, and all other type of plastic surgeries. Why do you think it's more common now than it was 15 or 20 years ago?
I mean, I feel pretty confident, honestly, in saying that plastic surgery, or just that work in general, has become primarily part of the sex industry. So there are definitely cases where that work is done because of a legitimate medical need. You know, there was a fire or there was something like that. But primarily, for the most part, if you get something like that done, it in one way, shape, or form, essentially, it is affecting the sex industry, which means that the sex industry, which is a multi-billion-dollar industry, has a vested interest in it getting bigger because it does all sorts of good things for that. And so I think you see that then play out in the media. So the idea is like, oh, men like, you know, breasts, let's make the breasts really big. Like, it's like candy, right? What do you do with candy? You make bigger versions of that too. And
I feel like it's super like over dramatic
and desensitizing. Because what it does is it devalues the actual beauty in a woman's personhood and a woman's body, because the reality of the situation is a woman is beautiful for far more reasons than just sexual. A woman is beautiful in many more ways, but unfortunately, historically, the woman is viewed as either Madonna, the mother, or as the whore.
That's true.
It's one or the other.
Gosh, you're so right.
Probably the rise that you get, the attention that you get from it. Back then, it was a standard of, I mean, probably even in the 40s and the 50s, there was a standard of what beauty was as far as women. And it was even a standard of what women should be doing. So now, since you can get the attention of social media, men, and just anybody, you can have a further reach. So now you have these people who are famous for things. It's like Kim Kardashian is famous. She does nothing on a day-to-day basis that takes skill, that takes a talent, but her lifestyle now is what she's trapped in. And it's like, you have to keep that going. You have to have people do your makeup every morning. You have to be out, and those are the things that makes you famous. But a lot of times you're cutting off and adding to add on to what's inside, and sometimes that doesn't get there. It doesn't reach there, like, at all.
The main reason is public figures. Like a lot of those, Kim Kardashian and Nicki Minaj, a lot of those public figures present themselves to show that this plastic surgery will make me perfect. I have 10 million likes here, and it's because Dr. Oz put you know, hemoglobin in my, you know what I'm saying? Because of that, you should do this so you can get 10 million likes. And the more insecure you are, the more important likes and retweets and Facebook Live views matter.
That's so true. Yes.
And so plastic surgery 15 years ago, that type of social media wasn't as prevalent. It was around. We had MySpace 10-15 years ago. We had Tagged. We had, you know what I'm saying? We had the small ones, but these ones where your business can take off because of Facebook. Your modeling career can take off because of Instagram. Your artistry can take off because of pinned tweets. You know what I'm saying? Because of that, they use that to their advantage. We didn't have that 10-15 years ago. You couldn't update.
That's true.
You couldn't update every 15 seconds. Hey, I'm going to Dr. Oz's office to get hemoglobin. You should go too.
That's true.
You couldn't do that.
When you were a kid, did you ever have any issues with your self-esteem or your body image? And if so, what do you think contributed to that? When I was a kid, I used to want to be white. And the reason why was because that's all I saw on TV, you know. Disney Channel, mostly white people. Nickelodeon, mostly white people. MTV, mostly white people. And at the time, the biggest pop stars were Britney Spears and Christina Aguilera. So I was completely obsessed with them. However, you know, they did have blonde hair and they were white. So for a while, I felt like in order for me to be beautiful, I need to be white, or I need to be at least half white. Eventually, I grew out of that phase, and when I got older, I started to have a new obsession. Once Instagram became popular, I found myself being super obsessed and absorbed, and I guess comparing myself to the Instagram vixens, you know, the fake asses, the breast implants, the Botox, the tummy tucks, the lip collagen. I genuinely felt like in order for me to be beautiful, in order for me to be sexy, I had to have all of those things. So,
oh yeah, I definitely had self-esteem issues. Like, being a first generation from a foreign country and having a different experience and a different upbringing than most, you get to start questioning about your body. How does everybody look so different than me?
Mm-hmm.
And of course, my family being so diverse, especially my mom's side of the family, they got big boobs. My big boobs. I'm questioning that. My sister is just as fair as you and so beautiful, by the way. Here I am this brown girl, but that's not depicted on the media. So when I'm reading these magazines, I'm looking online, who is me? Where am I in these pictures? Where am I in these commercials? I don't see it.
Yes, most definitely had all three: self-esteem issues, body issues, confidence issues. I'm not sure if confidence was one of those, but definitely they all tie in hand to hand. Yeah. Main contributor, unfortunately, like most kids, it was bullies. It was bullies, and then it was those that I looked up to. I didn't know how to handle it. I couldn't tell my mom because she would just say, "You got to stick up for yourself." But that stuff hurt. How can I stick up for something when it really, before you could stick up for yourself, you was already broken about it? You know, I was the fat kid in class, unfortunately, which made me continue to overeat, which gave me a body issue and a body image that was not good for me, which made me look at other people, and people would then try to do the whole, I want to make you over, or I want to give you this advice, and then it would still crash your self-esteem because they want you to change you. I started looking into guys and looking into oh, he's cute, but why doesn't he like me? And then I found out, oh, you don't have the right body image for this guy. Oh, this guy thinks that you're not his type. Funny as shit, nice as shit.
Yeah.
But if I'm not your type, I'm not your type. So a physical aspect, I truly hate when people say that physical is not in someone's type. It is. It may not be as prevalent as others, but it definitely is. Because if you can't see yourself holding hands with me because I'm 248, then you can't, there's no way we can be together. I'm not a secret.
I've never been a fan of like real skirts and stuff like that. And people used to mistake me as a guy. Like even when I didn't, like I've had my ears pierced since 6 months.
They mistake
you know what I'm saying? And it's just like I would wear baseball cap. You can still see me now with a baseball cap on. Like that's just it. But my thing was comfortability. But then I was like, when I started liking boys, I was like, I got a lot of guy friends, but they're not looking at me as a girl. And I'm literally the homie. So I'm like, should I press this much and press this much? And it's like, you look awkward in that stuff. You feel awkward in that stuff. So it's not going to come off the same way.
Because of the way that I dress and the way that I talk and the way that I think, maybe even, have always assumed that I liked women. My entire life, people have assumed that I like women. Now, never has that really bothered me because I've always known who I like. I know that I like men. If I liked women, I wouldn't care. I would tell you. It would be like, oh, I like women, I like men, I like both. The fact of the matter is I like men. Yeah. But don't care about some things that for some unfortunate reason you have to like those things to also like men.
Mm-hmm.
You see what I'm saying? So
Mm-hmm.
the body image thing was almost flipped for me.
Mm-hmm.
So instead of feeling like I had to fight so hard to attain bigger breasts and a perfect body and perfect hair and the best makeup and all this stuff, it was almost like I sometimes almost didn't take care of myself in some ways to prove the point that I was valuable anyway.
I used to base my beauty off of how much a man desired me. And in order to be desired, I felt like I had to have straight hair, I had to wear tight clothes or provocative clothes. I always had to make sure my makeup was done. So when you have that type of mentality, you don't really care about what's on the inside. And the funny thing about being desired is anybody can desire you and not love you. Anybody can desire you and not have any idea of who you are as a person. Do you think that the media tries to control the standards of beauty for women?
There is. It's all about the money. What makes the views? What makes a commodity? Is it a skinny, well-formed woman with long hair, or this dark-toned, not even dark-toned, or even this specific mold they're putting these girls in the music videos, in the magazines, and these commercials? Is it gonna sell better than the unideal, the unconventional woman? They're gonna go with the mold that they want, that sells the most, you know? And that's unfortunately falls upon how we look at it. Like, I'm not gonna be part of that mold. I'm unconventional. I'm part of the other, I'm over there somewhere. I'm not part of that even level of what they're looking for. Then the media definitely feeds onto that, unfortunately.
I'm not gonna say I grew up Muslim, but I am Muslim. I'm African American Muslim. When I think of media coming up as a kid, you only knew Malcolm X and people getting out of prison that were Muslims. And then, of course, in Islam, it's not a requirement, and a lot of people think that is, but it's not a requirement, but it is for women to be modest. My thing about modesty when it comes to the media is you will see a nun. They actually wear cloaks similar to what a hijabi wears, and they're seen as pious. And so the media sees them as pious. Well, that's fine. And then the media sees, you know, that the Muslim woman, even if she's African American or not, sees her like, you know, she's damaged, or, you know, she's in an abusive relationship or something like that. And just seeing how they approach it is funny because you've never even talked to that person. Black people have a hard time of taking responsibility about the things that we have. Yeah. There's things in our culture that we give away too much. So when we talk about the brown paper bag test and light skin being better than dark skin and stuff like that,
I hate that.
all of that is results from slavery. But it had to be continued. So after you pull somebody, after they're free slaves, you pull them. They don't remember. There's a mental block. So then it's like, well, what do we remember and what can we hold on to? So you hold on to what the slave master gave you. And so you have this mindset now that's going to continue through generations. I don't know how long you're going to sit on this. But, and it can be funny amongst ourselves. Cause like I said, my sister is a little bit fairer than us, you know, fair skinned than us. Mm-hmm. We make a joke, but that's a joke amongst us. I don't think it hurts her feelings. She said actually out loud that it doesn't hurt her feelings, so I'll scratch that. But it's like, I'm not going to be like, well, she got more opportunity in the world than me because I'm brown skinned. No, I just have my dad's complexion versus my mother's. Mm-hmm. That's just it. And so then we give it, oh, you trying to be white, if you want weave in your hair, okay? That is what you want to do. Yeah. Now, I have naps in the morning. I have been natural. Like, people are like, it's cool to be natural. It is cool, but you were born with it. It's not a movement. Mm-hmm. Just stop getting your hair permed. Yeah. You know? And then it's like, then you'll have us pit ourselves together in the media. You know, the Colin Kaepernick versus Michael Vick. Michael Vick, are you the Negro at the you the spook by the door? Saying, yes, master, I saw him, he out there, because we'll do that. So then they'll scapegoat us. They'll pull every black person that they can, respond to this so we won't have to work with it. And that's a beauty problem too. Because what's the first thing Mike Vick said? Make yourself presentable. He's not in jail.
Yeah.
You know, he just has an afro. He's adopted. He doesn't even know who his family is.
Mm-hmm.
So right now, what he knows America identifies him with is that was because they definitely treat him like a Negro. Is that type of stuff.
I think that what you see is a weird cycle where, like I said before, there are industries that I think drive some of the perceptions that the media pushes, like the sex industry pushes a lot of some of the things that you're seeing, and there's other things like that. But I think that more so then what happens is people see that, they think that's healthy because they have a deep trust in the media still. That is, I think, really the heart of the problem, is not necessarily is the media setting a standard, it's how much trust are you putting in the standard that the media is setting. Because the media will always set a standard of some kind in every facet that it touches on. Because in the same way that we have to decide how we're going to represent ourselves in the world, that's just like, it's a platform. What is going to be, you know, like they set trends ahead of time for what's going to be the spring trend. Like they have these things in place. And so I don't think that we should necessarily be looking at if the media is trying to set a trend first, or if they're trying to set a standard, because I think that we can just say point blank that they're always going to be. They're always going to be setting some type of standard. The question to me is the standard that they set going to be the one that you trust?
I think media can be detrimental and also very gratifying and groundbreaking. It's kind of like a balance in itself.
That's true.
Gratifying as far as you learn from other women. You learn that you can love yourself and love your body. Like, we're definitely doing Amber Rose body shaming issues. We're definitely doing, but we're also doing Kim Kardashian. I'm still a size 1 and I just had 2 kids. Everybody knows, I don't care how many kids or, you know, not having kids, you're going to not be a size 1. And so for you to still promote that, it's detrimental, but gratifying, because this woman can literally walk out. Like, I completely supported Amber Rose in that situation. Literally walk out naked and be completely okay with it. And you're not a slut. You love your body. If you love your body that much, more power to you. I hope I can be like her one day.
What is one thing you see that you dislike in our generation of women? And what is one thing you're proud of?
It's being outspoken. And it can have its downs and it can have its ups. But they almost force people to listen to them. I don't care how many YouTube channels it is, you have to listen to them. Like, somebody's going to look at them. I mean, YouTube is a big place, but somebody's going to look at them. Even if the little girl is Snapchatting, laying down in her bed and saying like some experience that she had, it's funny in a sense, because it's like, we couldn't do that. My generation, that's what I see. Like, we would have cousin chats and like we would have sister chats and things like that all together. But you're talking about like writing notes and I mean like those type of things. But what I see girls now, and it's like, let me take my voice and I'm gonna put it here. Now they can be cussing and it might not be what you think a young lady should be saying, but they got a platform. They have that platform and they have that will to say it. The one thing that I dislike is who they say it to. You can't say it to like minds. I want to make you, unlike minds, feel comfortable, because this is who I am. You know what I'm saying? And you don't have to do it. You don't have to do it in such a way, because they're always going to have a line of fear with you, you know, or I'm unfamiliar, this thing. But it's who you say it to. So, hey, young black girl with the voice. You stand up there and you're in front of people, and it's a whole group of people. Teach them. Don't sit in your comfortable salons and your comfortable barbershops and say, this is what we need to do. Absolutely. But what are you doing? Don't sit in my comments either.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You can't be you're not going to be no keyboard gangster. You a keyboard revolutionist? Yeah. Come on. You know what I'm saying? I'm an activist. Ooh, I found this link. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, that's fine and all, but who are you teaching? Are you teaching the people in your family to eat better? Are y'all all having, you know, at the end of the day, we run at 7 o'clock? Are you doing this for other people? So you can be outspoken, but the little girl that's watching you, just know she's watching you. I don't care how young she is. So now you gotta set an example.
One thing that really makes me cringe, and this is so unfortunate, is hating. Hating is the ultimate cringe that I have. I don't care if you're white, black, purple, or polka dot. Love is love, unity is unity, respect is respect. If you don't like what somebody doing, just don't like it. You don't have to shame them about it though. Because women do this to women a lot. Like, oh, her face isn't as beat. Girl, I just learned how to do a cat wing. Let me live.
That's so true.
You know, or I bet she got those from Kaiylah instead of rainbows, you know. Like, girl, she looks nice. You know, if somebody looks nice, say it. It is okay. Ain't nobody gonna bite you for saying that somebody look nice, especially as women of color. Stop hating on each other because it looks retarded. It really does. It really does. And then the one thing that I'm actually most proud of is the diversity. Our diversity, not only in the city but in the entire country is bananas. And how just like I said, that hating is one thing I cringe. We're bringing more unity than we ever have.
I agree. That's so
we're
true.
bringing more unity than we ever have for women especially Hispanics, you know, Dominicans, Latinas in general, Asians. Those are all being definitely noted in the industry. Social media wise, it's all being noted. You can definitely see Ling Ling, and then you can definitely see Tyresha. Like, and if those are two both forefronted, then I think that is super dope.
Something that I see women a lot of women in my generation that I seem to speak to seem to always want to fight fire with fire. And it hurts me to see it.
What do you mean?
I mean, in different areas that you see, like maybe a woman feels slighted by another woman, and so instead of trying to go to those principles of turning the other cheek or being the stronger, more mature person, we immediately want to fight fire with fire. Or a woman will be hurt by a man in a way that a woman or a man should never be experienced having to be hurt, and instead of moving forward, we'll choose to hurt the man back in the same way, or even worse, maybe it ends up reflecting in the children's lives that might be involved, or other family members. Like, I see an overwhelming amount of women my age, or a little older, or a little younger, who are responding to the ways that people in the world have hurt them by doing the exact same thing back. I like all the innovation. I think that there's a lot of women who are seeing a similar trend that I am, where you're seeing, you know, you can't fight an old system the old way, fight fire with fire, and who are really barreling through to pave and make new ways to do things. You know, like even in the city, you see a lot of women who they're creating their new businesses, their own products, or you see women coming together to put on art shows or to put on a different concerts, different things and they're dope. Like, you want to go to them, or even more so, like, the thing is, women are 51% of the population. So whatever we want to be, we should be able to, if we figure out a way to do it a new way instead of fighting fire with fire, we should be able to make it happen, including equality, including progression, including like deeper love. All the things that the women I see innovating want is possible. We're 51% of everybody.
I am proud of my skin. I am proud of my hair. I am proud of my walk, as my Angela would say, my stride. And I wanted to have that perm. Not even that. My mom was the one who encouraged me to get that perm because everybody was getting a perm. It's really hard to manage this type of hair, and I can understand why I can't even comb it with my own hands. With this whole movement that's happening, I've been seeing all these rainbows of hairs. Your hair, my skin tone, the different types of makeup that are now coming out that I can actually work for me and work for you. And the love and the encouragement of other dark tones, because we can just not have one spectrum that we just gonna appreciate. It's everybody under the sun.
I absolutely love being a Black woman. I love my natural hair. I love my stretch marks. I love my cellulite. I even love my body, even though my body isn't perfect in most people's eyes. It's perfect to me. And I don't really want to bash women that do, alter their bodies with plastic surgery. I feel like if you're doing it for you, then, to each his own. You have the right to do that. The definition of feminism is the theory of the political, economic, and social equality of the sexes. With that definition, do you think that women like Amber Rose truly represent feminism with things like the slut walk? Or do you think that public figures like her have misrepresented what feminism really is?
Definitely misinterpreted, and it's not represented accurately. It was a good intention, just not the right move. It showed a piece of it. Definitely feminism has to do with body image. Definitely feminism has to do with confidence and strength and love and respect. I would never classify Amber Rose as a feminist. I would classify her as a person who didn't give a shit and did what she wanted to do. And she was completely okay with it. And that's the ultimate level of confidence that most girls dream of.
When I hear the word feminist, I really don't have a connection to it. I'm just for women. And then it's like the accountability and the responsibility thing. You don't really want equality. Let's just be honest. You just really don't want I don't want what a man has at all. Okay? I want to play my position and flourish in that position. The biggest part of feminism is togetherness. I don't care who you are. I don't even agree with my mom on everything. And she had me. So you think a whole group of women, we're going to be sitting there like a gaggle of geese and we're all going to have the same common goal. No. So now you have women coming to this epiphany. Well, I can do it all. I can go to work. I can be the best wife. Somebody's losing. I heard Jada Pinkett say one time that was really cool. If mom's not okay, nobody's okay. So if I'm going crazy and I can't settle in myself and you don't have a partner who's helping you, because that's another thing. We can't solve things by ourselves. We're not that type of people. Nobody's built like that. I can't solve my problems. Sometimes I need a hug. If I go into the office and I have to be that bitch you don't want me to be at home, give me a hug. Tell my kids, hey, mom just came in from work. Even if you had a harder day than I did, give her some time. Because that's what a partner does. You gotta be on team us. So when I see women like Amber Rose, or because she didn't come up with the slut walk or whatever, she's playing to what people like. It's like a shock jock. You're just gonna get on the radio and say whatever you want to say. And it's like, you're not a feminist.
But also, if you think about it, it's only representing, what is it, social equality.
Right. But you don't want social equality either. Men on a day-to-day basis have to fight being a man. Hey, can I cry? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, all those things. I don't want an emotionless man. I don't want no he-man, and I don't want you crying all day. But understand, taking care of us, I'm here. And then taking care of you, I'm here. But if you can't give nobody a settled mind, that's why they're doing all this.
With the slut walks that she had, she is embracing the bodies of women, but she's not the only example of feminism. She's just one of many. I can give a definition of what feminism is. She has her own belief in what she follows, but there's also others. I keep saying, there's 3 categories you pointed out: social, economic, and political. They're just part of one. Like, Beyonce is part of the media of the feminism. She's bringing all these women by music, right? And with Amber Rose, she has her media platform that she's using to empower, because they're using their wealth and their level of status to just show this is a type of feminism, but this is not the definition of who they are in that feminism category. There's whole others.
I think that my problem is not necessarily with a misrepresentation or misinterpretation, even though I think that applies too, because I think that the points that what you made earlier are very valid in regards to that. Like, you can't really push a movement if you leave out whole parts of the movement that are essential to it. So in that way, I really agree with you. But my issue with it isn't from a feminism standpoint, it's from a health standpoint. And I'm going to have a problem with her promoting a lifestyle that I have seen damage and hurt and entrap people. That's the thing that scares me. And it's not to say that women shouldn't be able to do that if men do it, or it's to say that men and women both shouldn't be doing it. You know, like, it is an incredibly damaging lifestyle. Everybody at different times has needs that we're trying to fill. And if there's something that you see where somebody has such radical behavior that could damage them, I'm not saying that having numerous partners is evil or is going to always kill you, but the truth of the matter is, with how rampant these STDs are, with how damaging all this stuff is, with the effects that we do know that pornography has on the mind, all these stuff, that's science. We don't need to argue about that. We know it's damaging. So why do we want to promote a damaging lifestyle to promote a beautiful progress in feminism? That's the problem I have with it.
Come on, Kai!
Hey, yay. Yay, yay. Hey, 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 hey.
Some say the blacker the berry, the sweeter the juice. I say the darker the flesh and the deeper the roots. I give a holler to my sisters on welfare to podcast. If don't nobody else care, nah. I know they like to beat you down a lot. When you come around the block, brothers clown a lot. But please don't cry, dry your eyes, never let up. Forget, but don't forget, girl, keep your head up. And when he tells you another, don't believe him. And if you can't learn to love you, you should leave him. But sister, you don't need him. I ain't trying to gas you up, I just call him how I see him. You know it makes me unhappy when brothers make babies and leave a young mother to be a pappy. But since we all came from a woman, got a name from a woman, and I came from a woman, I wonder why we take from our women, why we rape our women, do we hate our women? I think it's time to kill for our women, time to heal our women, be real to our women. And if we don't, we'll have a race of babies that will hate the ladies that make the babies. Cause since a man can't make one, he has no right to tell a woman when and where to